Okay, now let's look at our locks. The first lock we're going to go over, or actually the first two locks, are probably the most common locks you're going to see in any system, and it's the outside and inside wrist locks. The first one is an outside wrist lock. It's usually taught in 3 stages, usually the shoulder, then a straight arm, and then a cross arm. So we're going to start with the shoulder, and the reason it's called an outside wrist lock is because you're literally taking the hand to the outside of the body. Now when you grab, you want to grab, take this off, you want to grab with the thumb anywhere between the knuckles. It doesn't really matter, just make sure it's between the knuckles and you're grabbing the meaty part of the thumb so that you can do our push and pull scenario. So when they grab, you come up just across like this, and you don't pull it off the shoulder, you just roll it off like this. So you have the hand here. Now from here, you're going to take it out to the outside of your body or your triangulation point, like that. Now if you do this correctly, you shouldn't have to be bending over or putting a lot of effort. They should go down pretty much immediately. So and again, on the outside, when they grab the shoulder, you come across just like this. You just roll it off, making sure you're using that thumb. Now there again, we want to push with this part, the thumb, and we're going to pull with our fingers. So we're going to pull in, like we talked about before. It should be kind of like turning a handle. So we bring the thumb to the outside of the body or the triangulation point. As you can see, he's already becoming off balance, which is neutralizing his other striking hand and any kicks or possible counters he can do. And then from here, you just take the other hand, and if you need to, you can step, and you've got him down. Now, for the straight arm grab, it's the same thing. We want to get the hand in the same position. We want to get the thumb to the outside of the body. So we're going to bring our hand straight up. We come underneath. Now when we pull, we don't want to pull this way. Because remember, if you're pulling against the fingers, they're probably going to win. You want to pull against the thumb. So you roll out against the thumb. Because right here, you've already got a lock without even really doing much more. Then the hand rolls over. And you've got them in a position that you can do something else with. So again, straight arm grab, palm comes straight up, this comes underneath, you go against the thumb. Now if you wanted to, you actually have a break here of the thumb. This comes over the top, bring it straight down to your triangulation point, or until they slap, depending on the drill that you're working on. Now the cross arm, this would be the third stage. This time again, thumb to the outside. So we're going to bring the hand, as we come in, we're just going to bring the hand this way. Like that. Try to think, or you can even bring it straight up. However you want to do it, depending on what the technique is, but you want the thumb to get pointed to the outside of the body. Then put your forearm on here. This will kind of help with the lock. And then again, push and pull, and they'll go right down. Okay, last time for a cross arm. From here, over, and down. Now there's a lot of different variations you can do with an outside wrist lock. You can step back and pull them this way. If you want more of a throw type or a jump roll, when you come in, you would bump the hip. So there's a lot of different ways you can use this depending on the result that you're looking for. Now when it comes to a technique, the first time we use this particular technique is in a technique we call twisting talons. Someone cross arm grabs you. We do it 2 different ways. The first one, like I showed you, you grab here, we step forward, and you bring your hand straight up the center line, you elbow the chin, and then you drop them with the lock. The second way we use this is we go to the outside, like this, and then we chop them in the throat and take them down. Okay, let's do these for a moment here so you can get a better angle. So, go ahead and do a shoulder grab so you can see from this angle. We grab this way. Now you can either step back or forward depending on what you're trying to do, and then just take them down to your belt. A straight arm, hand comes up. Remember, thumb anywhere between these knuckles. It doesn't matter which way. It just depends on the size of your hand compared to theirs. Step out slightly, and you drop it. And then the last way again was the cross arm. Hand comes here, thumb right there. Fingers roll over against that thumb. This is what you don't want to do. Go ahead and hang on. Because if he tries to hang on, we're in a fight. Then I got to start kicking and doing a whole bunch of other stuff to distract him. If you really just want to go into the lock to control, just go to the outside and then just bring it straight down to your belt and then they'll be neutralized. And that's how you do the outside wrist lock. The next lock we're going to look at, or joint manipulation, is the standing arm bar. There's several different variations of an arm bar, but the first one that you actually learn in our system is in yellow belt, and the technique is called armbar. And it's for a shoulder grab. Now, what an armbar is basically we're going to lock up this hand and shoulder and get the opponent on the ground. And you do this by starting off with your hand almost like you're going to do the inside wrist lock, and then you step in and you roll across the body. You want to step across his body like this. And as you do so, you're going to take your arm, your forearm, and put it right on top of his elbow. You're going to keep this right up against your chest. This hand grabs the wrist. This grabs right around like this. And like the outside wrist lock, we're going to push the fingers in as we pull them in. Okay? Again, they grab. You come up and just grab just like this. And all you want to do is just roll that shoulder over and step across their body. You can see he's already losing his stability. Now bring your arm straight down to your rib cage at the same time. Push and pull with the hand. And then just keep applying until you get the results you're looking for. Let's do this one from here so you can see the lock a little better. Okay, again. So, we grab this way, and this comes up underneath. Step across the body, just like that. Now bring your arm right to your ribs, and you've got the lock. Like I said, we use this in a technique called armbar, which is not much different than what I just showed you. The only difference is when he grabs, at this point, he's going to throw the punch. So as he punches, we block it, just getting slightly out of the way. This hand pins the arm. We grab, and we take him down. Okay, last time for that technique over here. Okay, again, this is what we call armbar. It's in our yellow belt. They come in and they punch. We block. This comes up and grabs. Step across their body. Bring your arm straight down to your ribs, and apply the lock. Okay, the next technique we're going to look at is called the four-directional throw. This is done from a cross-arm grab, like a handshake, straight arm grab, and even from a punch. So we're going to show you all three ways to get into it. The first way, which is the most basic way, and what we teach in the technique Breaking the Sword B, is for a handshake. Now, this is not because you're technically going to do this to a guy who's throwing a handshake at you. This is just the easiest way to learn these techniques without getting too complicated. So on the four-directional throw, we're going to come in and we're going to step across the body, and we're going to use our elbow against theirs. Then you want to push up with their elbow and pull. So we're going to use our push-pull method. Then we come across and we slide. Now, one of the most common mistakes students make is they come up and they bring this above their head. The problem is, if Lee wanted to, he could just push it down because I'm not in a position of power. He is. So what we want to do to prevent that, and also to use the feel in case he does try to counter it, is we come in and we do this. This way, if he tries to punch with his other hand, all I have to do is lift. I can see it. Also, it neutralizes that other hand. He can't hit me even if he wanted to, and if he did, it wouldn't be anything behind it. I'm going to slide it across my body, and then you just step straight behind him to take him down. Let me get a little farther back so we can see that. So we come across here, we lift up, we come in, and we take them down. And then you drop your knee on top of them to keep them from bouncing up. Now, there's a lot of different angles you can do to take them down. It's really going to depend on you and your opponent, the height, how big they are, and a lot of different factors. I can still make the same technique work and come out more to the 9 o'clock position. Okay, so anywhere between 9 and back up to the 10:30 position, you can step and take your opponent down. It's just going to depend on your surroundings and what results you're looking for. Now, the straight arm grab, when they do it, since we're trying to come across the body, we're going to have to come this way. We're going to start by coming with the fingers because we got to come in around that way. So we step in, we want to neutralize the hand that way, and then we come and take them down. Okay, again, on the straight arm. There again, we've got to neutralize that hand because if they're grabbing you because they're going to punch you. They're not grabbing you just to be grabbing you. So you're going to counter grab, The hands are going to pull and slide down. Then you push back up. That neutralizes that punch. And you take them to the ground. Now the last way I'm going to show you with a technique. This is a technique we call stop hit. And basically stop hit's where you just come in, grab and hammer fist. But we're going to add the 4-directional throw to it. So as he throws his punch, there's the stop hit technique. Now from here, I just bring the hand across the center line, apply the lock, and I take them down and I'm back in control. Okay, one last time, the 4-directional throw from a punch. Here, there's the stop hit technique. So any technique this way or anything that uses a punch, you can make it work. Just bring the hand across your center line. You want to neutralize that hand because remember, they're punching you, or they're going to attempt to maybe even do a second punch. Apply the pressure and around and down. And that's 3 possible ways to use the 4-directional throw.